What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Between the Ropes. MacArthur Moore, Wesley Varnador, Hunter Fletcher. We love sports and all things about it. And what a week we have, or should I say weekend, coming up, because it is official. College football is here. Week 1 is here. We've got Lee Corso's final college game day. We've got some great games on Friday, and then an absolute heater of a slate of games for Saturday.
Yes.
There's
Yes,
good
sir.
Games Sunday. Where y'all want to start?
Let's go ahead and just kick it off with Friday.
Let's start with Friday. Who you like, Georgia Tech, Colorado?
That game is caught my eye, and then the Auburn Baylor game. But we'll start with Georgia Tech, Colorado.
Yes.
Colorado has a lot to prove this year. Dion has a lot to prove without Shadur, Shallow, and Travis Hunter.
Yeah. And Jimmy Horn.
And Jimmy
Don't
Horn.
forget Jimmy Horn.
I mean, I do think Georgia Tech's going to win.
I do too.
They're favored at 4.5 right now. I do think they're going to walk into Colorado and win. I think they lost too much talent on either side of the ball.
Yeah.
Not that their defense was great last year. Colorado's defense was not
They
that
were
great.
such a Big 12 team last
Yes.
year.
I think Haynes King and the Yellow Jackets are going to walk into Boulder and they're going to absolutely dominate. I'm giving it a 14-point game.
I'm a little worried about Caden Salter at Colorado.
Yeah.
He's a good player, and he played well at Liberty. I'm
Yeah.
happy for him for getting a new opportunity, going to be the replacement for Shedeur Sanders. He wins the job over Julian Lewis, the freshman. But I just don't know at this stage how he's going to do. I could be totally wrong, and next week
Yeah.
he plays amazing, and then next week we have to talk about how MacArthur's an idiot. But I really think that Georgia Tech is a really good team. I think Haynes King is one of the best quarterbacks, Heisman or finalists or anything like that. But I do like this Georgia Tech team. It all started last year.
Yes.
This
Yeah.
is momentum riding off of last
Yeah.
year. They had a very good year. They opened the year with a big win in Dublin against Florida State,
Yeah.
which of course ended up not being that big of a deal because
They
of how
sucked.
bad Florida State was.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. I think 14's good. I even like a 10 or 12 point game.
Yeah.
But I do think Georgia Tech walks out of Boulder with a huge week 1 W.
I agree.
Regardless,
completely.
it's going to be a 2-score game.
Yes.
I think it's going to be Georgia Tech. Now, the game that I think is going to be closer than that is the Auburn-Baylor game.
Yeah.
I'm very intrigued by that game because I think Auburn's got a lot to prove.
They do.
My issue with Baylor, yes, it's at Waco, and it's tough to play at Waco.
It is
Yeah.
very tough. They
I-
are wild.
Ever since Matt Rule left back in 2019-2020,
Yeah.
Baylor has struggled with an identity.
Yes.
They don't really have one, and they still don't really have one. So
Yeah.
for that reason, I've got Auburn in week 1. I think it'll be a 1-score game, 6 to 8 points.
Well, Vegas has got it 2.5
I
favorite
think
at Auburn.
even tighter than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 2.5 favoriting Auburn. Over and under is 58.5. I think Auburn's, like you said, they've got a lot to prove this year. They've been kind of little brother in the last couple years in the SEC, getting
They've
overshadowed.
been little brother for a long time.
They're
Yeah.
getting overshadowed by the newcomers, Texas and Oklahoma.
They get Jackson Arnold this year.
I think Auburn will probably win this game. I'm going to stay at that 2.5. I'm going to give it like a field goal. I think either Auburn's going to walk off on a field goal or they're going to have a 3-point lead and a good defensive stand in the last 30 seconds of a football game.
So you think Auburn will win? But
I
you
think
it's gonna
Auburn's
be-
going to win,
it's
but I
gonna
think
be
it's going to be tough. And
Right.
and it's not because, Auburn is unproven, which they are not. They are unproven. But Baylor is just a tough place to play. That place gets rowdy and loud. And on a Friday night, right after college, all the college students are probably going to be hammered.
Yeah, probably. so.
I think it's going to be loud.
Yeah.
What about the Charlotte App State game at Bank of America Stadium? I mean that's the game that I think everybody cares about, and I think that's the game that everybody's talking about.
That's the
for
game
Friday.
that you care about.
It is the game that I care about.
I think App State comes out of there plus 14-point win.
Oh, I don't disagree.
Well,
I
they're
think-
only favored 4.5.
Wow, they have a
That-
lot
that-
of faith
That's a
in
little
Charlotte.
tight for Charlotte.
I do think App State's going to blow their doors off because App State historically has been a very sneaky good team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're like they're kind of like the UNC Greensboro-esque school of
Yeah.
like college football, like
Yeah.
that really good mid-major that you don't want. Florida Atlantic is another
Yes.
like they're that kind of team like that you
Yeah.
just don't want to see on your schedule, and it's not like Charlotte's that great. I
Yeah.
think that Tim Albin has got a lot of work cut out for him. I do really like Connor Harrell, the North Carolina
Yeah.
transfer that just got named the starter, but man, I'm a little worried about the Charlotte App State game
Future-
as a Charlotte student.
Future pick: Charlotte upsets Carolina.
Whoa, easy.
I'm just
Easy.
picking. I'm just picking. I think App State's gonna blow this one out of the water.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be easy.
What about college game day? We got to talk about Saturday and how
Yes.
big a deal Saturday is because
For
not,
lots of reasons.
not only because we have great games, it is the end of an era.
It's
Yes.
a sad,
Yep.
sad day.
Not that Lee Corso is dying, but R.I.P. Lee Corso on game day.
Yeah.
It's for my childhood growing up from the time I was like in 7th grade, 6th grade, and starting to watch college football. It was every Saturday I got up, watched game day all day, got to watch Lee Corso put on the headgear,
Yeah.
and it was just a staple to my childhood.
Speaking of the headgear, what's he putting on Saturday?
He's putting on Brutus.
You think so?
He's and I say this because the first ever game day he put on Brutus, and I think to end his game day selection headgear, he's going Brutus with what started it.
So I don't. I think he's going Bevo.
I'm with
I think
MacArthur.
he's going to be a
he'll put on
Texas
Bevo.
Longhorn because I think Texas is the better team. I think Lee Corso is extremely high on Arch Manning, and I just think it. I don't think he's going to allow a past bias get in the way of a good pick, and I think he's going to pick Bevo. I mean, he might pick Brutus.
I'm gonna do a Lee Corso, not so fast, sweetheart.
I'm not a midget.
I didn't call you a midget,
I know,
even
but
though
that's
he
what
did
Lee
pick on that
Corso-
kid.
Lee Corso called him a midget.
But I think he's gonna do Brutus. And did any of y'all watch the thing last Saturday about Lee
Not
Corso?
I didn't
really.
Get to.
Okay, so and I'm gonna be paraphrasing because it's me and I don't know everything word for word. But Kirk Herbstreit's wife, cheerleader at Ohio State, this is where she went to school. They they announced game day was coming to ESPN. Blah blah blah. Herbie and Lee Corso were talking. Lee Corso called him and he goes, "Hey, sweetheart, can you give me that headset? Can we get Brutus? Can you see if your wife can get me Brutus?" Nobody knew what he was going to use it for. Well, Herbie said, I can't tell him no. So he tells his wife. His wife calls the cheerleading coach. Cheerleading coach flips out and says, absolutely not. That is a sacred Ohio State item.
That's not happening.
You can't take it. No. Well, then Herbie's like, well, I want to call Lee Corso and tell him no. But he calls him. And Lee Corso's like, no, I have to have the headset. I have to have the headgear. I have to have Brutus. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Long story short, they call the dean. The dean approves it. And then lo and behold, nobody on set knew it was going to happen. When it come time to make the pick, Lee Corso said Ohio State and put Brutus's headgear on.
That's freaking sick.
Yes, and that's why I'm telling you, he might in his heart say Texas is going to win. And I think Texas is going to win. We'll get to that in a couple minutes.
Yeah.
But I think he's going to put Brutus on. Started it, and he's going to end it.
No matter how it ends, it's an exciting day because it's the start of a new college football season.
Yes.
But it's also an extremely sad day because Lee Corso is such an icon, not just of college football, but of sports.
Yeah.
One of my earliest memories of Lee Corso is playing NCAA football like 07, 09.
It was earlier, yeah. It
And
was one of those.
instead of Ask Madden, it was
Ask
Ask
Corso.
Corso. And he's like sitting in the corner. And even I think in 09, he talked. Like,
Yeah.
he's like, here's what you're going to do here. You're going to pick
Yeah.
a counter.
Well, and it's not even just the fact of him being on game day. He was such a great college coach.
He's
Yeah.
just a great human being.
Yeah,
Great
and
man. And he's older. He's 89.
yes,
He's struggled with some health issues. It's time.
it is time,
And I hate it.
I hate it so bad because
It's going to be weird.
It's-
Next week is going to be so weird. Even that
Yeah.
Monday night thing that they're doing in Chapel Hill is going to be weird because
Yeah.
he's not going to be there. It just isn't going to feel right.
yeah, I do. You know, it's gonna suck. I don't think they're gonna do the headgear thing
They
anymore. I think
shouldn't.
They shouldn't do it. But
If anybody does it, it's going to be Pat McAfee.
oh yeah, it'll be
For-
Pat.
for
Out of that table
100%.
group, it's gonna be Pat.
Because everybody else is kind of dull. I mean, I mean, not dull,
Yeah.
but like, you know,
It's not their thing.
it's just they're not like yelling and screaming, jumping up and down like Pat McAfee. Like it would have to be Pat McAfee. or else it
When you
just-
say that jumping up and down, he didn't. I go back to the LSU game where he's
Yeah.
doing the yeah, and I'm not gonna
Exactly.
finish that, but it's gonna if anybody doesn't be Pat.
exactly, that's my point.
Yeah, but on the more important and not so depressing things, the game that they're going to be at game day, Texas and Ohio State.
It's going to be an interesting one. You got the defending national champion. You've got a playoff team, a semifinal rematch.
Yep.
2 new starting quarterbacks with Quinn Ewers and Will Howard being in the NFL.
Yeah.
I mean, however you want to say that Quinn Ewers is. He's on a roster.
Yeah.
He may not be doing that great, but he's on a
Well,
roster.
Will Howard's on a roster, but he's out for the year because of an
right.
injury. But
it is 2 new starting quarterbacks.
Yes.
Arch Manning, Julian Sayin. I think Texas wins.
oh yeah,
I
do too.
really like Texas as a team. I don't like them as a program, but I like their team.
yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how Arch Manning plays. It's the first time as the starter for the full year. He got a little bit of time last year. 939 yards, 9 touchdowns, 2 picks in 10 games. I think they should have gone to Arch down the stretch when Quinn Ewers wasn't playing so well. You know, he started, and it's like,
Fire.
whoa, Quinn Ewers is
Yes.
going to be a top 5 pick.
Yep.
He is the best quarterback in the draft class. He
Yep.
goes down with that ankle sprain.
Yeah, high
And
ankle sprain.
He did not play like the same player. But I think that Steve Sarkisian was trying to save his draft stock, and by getting benched, that would have been such a bad look for the program
Yeah.
and a bad look for Quinn Ewers as a player. So I think he wanted to go to Arch Manning. I think that it made sense to go to Arch Manning, but I think he let his pride and Quinn Ewers' draft stock get in the way. I believe Arch is going to have a really good year.
Yeah.
He loses Matthew Golden, which is a loss. He's a great wide receiver, but I
not
would
as
actually,
bad as it could be.
But Ryan Wingo
Yes.
is scary, and his stats don't show the full picture. He only
Yeah.
had like 430 yards, but again, Matthew Golden is
Was
lined
the
up
guy.
beside you.
Yes.
So I really like Isaiah Wingo. They get Quintravion Winsner back, a 1,000-yard rusher.
Yes.
Their defense is absolutely nasty. This is as good of a chance as Texas is
Yeah.
going to get at a national championship since Mac Brown won their last one with Vince Young.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think that Arch is between the two quarterbacks. Arch is better equipped because last year, when Quinn Ewers was hurt and he didn't know if he was going to play, everything Arch was practicing like he was going to start that week.
Yeah.
He was going through the playbook. He was playing with the ones. He was studying.
He was
everything.
playing like he was Quinn Ewers.
Yeah, he was playing like he was going to be the guy strapping up, starting the game.
Right.
And I think Arch is going to have a great year. I think he's going to have a great career in Texas.
Do you think he's back for his senior year?
I think he'll come back.
I don't. I think he's gone. I think he'll be the number 1
It
pick.
depends on who's got the first overall pick.
And how he does.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do think what you're going to see this game is no matter who wins or loses, you're going to see an overreaction.
Yeah.
In the media.
It's gonna be. It's gonna be a lot.
And
It's gonna be
sucks.
some good receipt keeping.
Yeah, and it sucks because people are going to overreact about this, but the one game they should be paying more attention to is the Clemson LSU game.
I'm really excited for the LSU Clemson game. I think that Clemson is one of the best teams in college football.
Yeah.
I think they're going to have a really good year. Cade Klubnik's finally a senior. And as a Carolina fan who had to watch him absolutely torch us in the ACC championship as a freshman, I am so happy that his time at Clemson is coming to an end.
Yeah.
I think he's going to have a really good year. I think Garrett Nussmeier is a good player. I don't know that his game translates that well to the pro level, but
Some scouts are saying yes. and-
I just don't know. I don't know.
well, lately Cade's been picked to be the first overall pick.
That's insane.
And it's
What?
Yes.
It's pretty
Cade
crazy.
Klubnik.
Yes, look it up. I think a lot of it is also the
Actually insane.
what is going to happen with Arch. Is he going to come out? Is he not going to come out? But I think this game is going to be the one that people should be watching. I mean, I'm not saying don't watch Texas and Ohio State.
You definitely
because
should.
that game is going to be amazing.
It's going to be cinema. It's going to be a great game.
But this game at 7:30 on ABC in Death Valley is one of the top games to watch.
I would
gonna
agree,
be-
and I got Clemson.
I think Clemson's going to win, and it's not, and it's the same reason what you talk about Texas. I think Clemson is the most well-built team out of these two, and Clemson is built this year to win now.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is the most
Absolutely.
This is the most together that Clemson has looked
Since Trevor Lawrence.
since Trevor Lawrence, and I can say the same thing for LSU. This LSU team is most equipped to win now. This is
This is
the
a
best
good
they've
team.
looked as a team since the Joe Burrow year.
Here's my issue with LSU. I'm not sold on Brian Kelly in a season
And
opener.
I'm not either. He hasn't won one.
Yeah.
He has not. But I'm saying
This is a good team.
this LSU team is built to win now, just like Clemson. That's why I think this game is so good to watch week 1.
You know who I love for LSU? Caden Durham, the running back, the sophomore
Yes.
running back. He's going to have a huge year. And you can make the argument between Ohio State and LSU that they're wide receiver you.
Yeah.
I don't think you can go wrong with either.
No,
And this
because they're both
LSU
good.
wide receiver core is great. Chris Hilton Jr., you got Xavion Thomas. At tight end, you got Trey'Dez Green, who, fun fact, is a basketball player. He is a former basketball player converted to tight end. Clemson has one as
Yeah, I
well.
was about to say,
but he had a little issue with the law. He had a bad recreational activities night, so he will not be available on week 1. And so, but I think this game is going to be really good.
Yeah.
You know, hey, look, I think the owner of Death Valley is going to win it.
Yeah.
Just saying. I think Clemson wins. I
do
I
too.
think they'll win by 10.
I think it's going to be. I'm going to give them a 1-score game here.
Yeah, I don't know about 10.
Now, it easily could be. I
It-
mean, Brian
yeah, it
Kelly
could be.
can't coach. I mean, he could easily coach his way out of it, and Clemson just dog walks.
For sure.
It could happen. But I just think this LSU team is too well-rounded of a team. for that
I
to
just
happen.
think Clemson's defense is going to overwhelm them. That's my issue.
Yeah, Clemson's got some dogs.
What about a potential upset? Tennessee Syracuse.
Ooh.
I'm just saying.
I don't think Tennessee's
I don't think it
gonna
happens.
lose.
I don't think it happens. But this Syracuse team is low key nice.
If this
They're
was
not as good
last
as
year's
last year's.
Syracuse team,
I'll agree.
I would say Syracuse, but I'm gonna give it to Tennessee. My upset watch is down in Florida,
Florida State, Alabama.
Florida State, Alabama, and I'm
Ooh,
not saying that it's.
Interesting.
I'm not saying it's gonna happen,
No.
It could.
but I'm saying it has a very good possibility of happening, and I'm only saying that because I both of these coaches, in my opinion, are in the hot seat.
Okay.
Both of them.
So I would say that Norvell
Oh yeah, Norvell
is
is
number one on,
Yes.
on the
Yes.
hot seat for this year. DeBoer is not there yet. You let Alabama miss the playoffs, though, he's gone.
I'm telling you right now,
And you let them lose to Florida State and see what happens.
if he's not on the hot seat, he is standing on the doorstep.
Yeah.
My big issue with Alabama this year is the fact that I'm not that high on Ty Simpson. I'm just not. And it's really because he didn't play that well when he replaced Milroe.
Yeah.
Milroe was the starter.
Which Milroe to me is a running back that can throw.
Yeah, I think
He's
he'll
not
get
that
converted.
good.
I
He's
think
not
he'll be
that
a
good.
running back in the NFL. But I just don't love Ty Simpson. I think there's a lot of questions surrounding him. I do really like Keelan Russell, one of the top players coming in to Alabama. He's a freshman. He won't start this year, I don't think, because right
Probably.
now he's listed as the third string.
Probably not.
But man, he's really good. I like him a lot.
I'm just saying, I think Alabama jumped too early to hire him.
DeBoer.
Yeah, to hire DeBoer. I think they jumped because Saban left. DeBoer's coming off scoring the national championship with Washington.
Yeah.
I just think
There's
that
definitely some questions surrounding
Well,
Caleb DeBoer.
in my opinion, they lost their identity because when Saban was there, they were a hard-nosed football, no nonsense. You show up, you play football, you leave.
right?
There's a lot of nonsense and extracurricular activities that are going on in Alabama. Where you got players getting toning penalties and showing out and acting the fool. That never would
you
have
would have been
happened.
running
Yeah.
for weeks under Nick Saban.
Yeah. I think that Alabama's got a chance to lose. I'm not saying it's going to happen because they're favored by 13.5 against Florida State.
No, I don't.
But
I still am not impressed with Florida State as a team, even with Tommy
Castellanos, who played great in Boston College.
He's a good
Yeah.
player.
He was
He's a
great.
really good quarterback, but still, I don't think that's enough. I don't think it's enough.
I'm not saying it's going to happen, but if I had to pick a game to have an upset, it's Florida State and Alabama. That's mine. But moving on to daggone Sunday.
Miami, Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
I'm going Miami, and I know I'm not a big Carson Beck guy. I'm not.
I hate Carson
But
Beck.
here's how Miami works: they start hot, they get through week 5 or 6, something happens, they fall off.
So you're saying that they're going to start
They're going to start hot. They're
and
going
that
to
Carson
win.
Beck's going to look terrific.
Oh,
against
the
Notre
media's
Dame.
going to be saying Heisman candidate, Heisman front runner, Heisman this, Heisman that, national championship this, blah 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 blah. Week 6 or 7, they're going to fall off, and they're going to have a horrible rest of the year.
Yeah.
And I think Notre Dame will take a punch to the mouth early and lose to Miami, and then come back and fight hard the rest of the
And
year.
be the better team.
And I think so.
My big issue with Notre Dame, and I'm still picking them to win, is their quarterback identity. C.J. Carr, the redshirt freshman, he's no Riley Leonard. Their backup,
No.
Kenny Minchie, if he ever has to come in, don't really love him. But I'll tell you, the thing I like about Notre Dame, and the reason that I'm picking them over Miami, is the weapons around C.J. Carr. Even though I'm
Yeah.
not sold on C.J. Carr, Jeremiah Love is a Heisman candidate. Jaden Greathouse coming back at wide receiver. He's a very good wide receiver. Anybody that watched the college football playoff last year knows how
Yes.
good of a player he is. Everybody knows how good Jeremiah Love is as well. But I just think that Notre Dame is going to beat Miami because I really don't like Carson Beck. It is a biased pick.
It is.
And I'm not a big fan of Notre Dame as a program. I like Marcus Freeman, but
he's a good coach.
I don't like that Notre Dame gets this free pass from the ACC because of their TV deal.
Yeah.
Well, it
That-
wasn't even
that's-
just the
that's
ACC.
weird.
It was like that when they were in the Big East.
Yeah,
So,
but
I mean, it's been that way for years.
I don't think it should be that way.
It shouldn't, but it is.
They shouldn't be able to reap the rewards of basketball, baseball, and all other sports just
Yeah.
because, and then just be able to bow out in football. It's
Oh,
not
I
like
agree with you.
It's not like the ACC doesn't have football.
Yeah.
If
and
they didn't have football, I wouldn't have a problem with it.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I think it's bullcrap, but I just really think Miami's going to start hot, and everybody's going to be freaking out about Carson Beck, and it's going to happen. They're going to win big, not big. Excuse me. They're going to win a big game.
You know who I think is going to win a big game?
Oh,
South
here we go.
Carolina.
Oh, okay.
I thought
Okay,
you were
I
about
thought
to
we
go
were
into
living in
North
La La
Carolina.
Land
Oh,
for
we're
a
not
minute.
there yet. We're
I
not
thought we
there
were in La La
yet.
Land.
You just wait. South Carolina, Virginia Tech. Everybody is saying that South Carolina is going to win this game, and I completely agree.
Oh man, they're favored by 7.5.
Yeah.
Only 7.5 though.
7.5, please.
I'm not-
16-point win for the South Carolina Gamecocks.
Oh.
Lenora Sellers, masterclass. And it's going to be fantastic.
I'm not saying just to be opposite of you. And I'm not saying that South Carolina is going to lose this game. I'm saying Virginia Tech is going to play them closer than what you think.
Here's the thing. This South Carolina team, if everything goes to plan, is a college football playoff type.
Oh, they
team.
were that type
They
of
were
team last
type-
year.
Yeah, but they're better this year. They're
Yeah.
way better this
Yeah.
year. And I think it starts, you set the tone with a great win over Virginia Tech.
I think they do, but I think they will win. I'm just saying you can't not count Virginia Tech out.
I wouldn't say count them out, but I just think that, yeah, they might come out and make a great play early, but South Carolina, I'm telling you, 16 points is a great number. They don't get blown out.
No.
It's a 3-score game,
I think we're going to be texting back and forth about this game.
and Lenora
Yeah.
Sellers is going to come out and be a Heisman candidate.
Yeah, I will be at the lake Sunday, and we're probably going to be texting about this.
Yeah.
I think that South Carolina clears.
I think they win. I'm just saying. I'm not saying they're going to lose. I'm saying be mindful that an upset could happen
Yeah, whatever. All right. Let's move on to Monday. The game that actually matters.
that nobody cares about.
Monday night, Labor Day, North Carolina, TCU, the beginning of the Bill Belichick era in Chapel Hill gets underway. Gio Lopez, Jordan Shipp, Davion Gauze. It's going to be an absolute masterclass. North Carolina by 17.
Oh, you
Thank
forgot,
you for
you forgot
watching.
to mention Bill Belichick's girlfriend.
She's not on the sideline. I'm just telling you. Stay on that side, hater.
We are all excited to announce TCU will be beating North Carolina.
I'm picking
week 1.
TCU.
What?
I'm sorry. I can't do
What
it.
do you know about TCU as a
Me?
program?
Me?
Yeah.
Not a whole lot. Other than the fact they got dog walked by Georgia in the national championship game a couple years ago. But I'm just saying, I'm not picking Carolina. I will not pick
Biased.
Carolina.
That's why I didn't pick State.
That's fine. We didn't talk about State because they're playing Thursday, and this is going to be out on Friday.
Well, Carolina's going to clear. It's
Now-
so
now let me-
it's
the bias
in the
is so
writing.
bad in
Now,
this room.
now
right
let me
Oh,
let me back up. Last week I did tell you Carolina has a chance to be 4-0 going into the game against Clemson in a couple weeks.
100%.
I said because really TCU out of these first 4, TCU is the hardest game y'all have got.
Oh, I would make the argument that TCU is our second hardest game on our schedule.
Y'all have a very easy schedule,
We do. I know.
but
Oh, I know.
we'll talk about that at a different day when it comes week by week when we do this. But I think this week, maybe for once in its life, Kenan Stadium will be rocking because in the last 6 years it has not.
Easy. It has too.
There
You
is
must have
there
not
is
been
a
at that
reason-
Miami North Carolina game in
There
2021.
is a reason why that stadium has been called West Raleigh for so many years. Because every time we've played y'all in Carolina lately, we pack it out more than y'all do.
I don't think that's.
It's West Raleigh. Look, you cannot tell me in the last few years that they've been packing that stadium out. They haven't sold a game out until this year.
And now we've got every game sold out.
Well, that's because
Bill
that's
Belichick.
That's
because
the Bill Belichick effect
Belichick.
because y'all are thinking that you're
It's
going to do
not
something.
because
We are.
it is a master class football team. It's just because the name of your head
The
coach.
start of a master class program starts Monday night. Gio Lopez, absolute clinic. He's going to ball out. He's going to feed Jordan Shipp and Kobe Paysor. Jordan Shipp's going to be a top 2 wide receiver in the ACC. Book it right here. Jake Johnson, great tight end. Our defense is going to be terrific. Kamori House is going to have a huge year. Washington transfer, and we are going to start moving Steve Belichick into the head coaching job. I cannot wait for the future of North Carolina football and the start of North Carolina being a good football program, becoming a football school even, starts Monday night against TCU.
Is that because y'all can't be a basketball school anymore?
We're going to be both. We're
the
going to be
bias,
like Alabama.
the bias is insane.
Sweet Lord baby Jesus. All right, here's what's going to happen. Because everybody is so confident in Chapel Hill, TCU's going to win.
Yeah.
They're going to get hit in the face. and
No.
then It's going to be over.
I'm telling you, TCU.
Gio Lopez, 350 yards, 3 tutties.
You high?
Did you take anything before this podcast?
Nah.
You
That
high
TCU
high on
pack.
life? You high on life?
I'm
He's been
excited.
scrolling Instagram on every North Carolina football page there is, every fan page talking about how great.
Watch my video if
North
you want to see
Carolina
how
is.
I really feel about North Carolina.
Look,
Go watch my video.
I'm just saying. You cannot count TCU out of this game.
You can't.
You take them too lightly, and they're going to punch you in the face.
I don't think we're taking them too lightly. I'm just telling you. I think we're gonna win by 17.
You're literally that's taking a team lightly. If you can sit here and say we're gonna beat them by 17,
I think we will.
Look, hold on. I'm going to say this, and I know
We'll play our heart out.
I know it's different teams, but a couple years ago when State was like 13 in the nation, and we played at ECU our first game, I was like, we're going to beat the brakes off of ECU, and we won because they missed a field goal. I'm telling you right now, don't even laugh at that because y'all got blown out by ECU not long ago.
10 years ago, not that long ago. I was 9.
It doesn't matter. You were still alive. I'm telling you, you cannot count it out. I'm
We'll see.
going TCU by 7. All right, folks, it's going to wrap us up for this week of Between the Ropes. Follow us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast. Don't forget, check us out on TikTok and Instagram for our reels throughout the week. We'll be back next Friday again with reviews from checking up on our picks from this week
I can't wait.
for the receipts because Carolina's going to lose. And we're going to preview next weekend in college football because it's going to be another banger. We'll see you next week.
See y'all.
Yeah.